Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com, youtube.com, and facebook.com, all / Wake Up Call DT. You are watching here with us inside the Cafe Kubal Studios, picture in picture with my dude here, Mr. Charles Pride. And Mr. Pride here with me on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Liverpool Warriors basketball alum in Central New York, as well as New York State champion and Bryant Bulldog. Mr. Pride, how are we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. When I say that, when I say New York State champion, like I know it's been a little bit, but is it still surreal? Like, does it ever like hit you completely? Okay, I'm a state champion. Or when you hear it, do you still go, wow? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely go, wow, I don't know. That always was a dream to me, when I was younger, there were a lot of great teams in the area that uh would make it. I used to when I was younger, I would watch West Hill and just winning that, like I always wanted to do that. So I don't know, it's surreal. And it was with a bunch of great guys.
Yeah, and we look at the fact that, your birthplace, my hometown's your hometown, Syracuse, New York. So, when you are a New York State champion and you're a native here, I mean, that to me has to be so beautiful that have worn that city and worn our community on your chest. And then you get to hoist up the state championship trophy for high school basketball. I would imagine is a feeling that doesn't feel like anything else.
Definitely. We went the year before and we lost in the first round of the Final Four. And then we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to go back and win it. That year was just surreal. Everyone put the work in and worked really hard. I remember a bunch of people would be in the gym after practice and stuff like that. And that was just a great group of guys.
So we look back and we reflect on the Liverpool Warriors time. And, I feel like we got to make this happen when you come back home. I do a thing at Avicoli's where right down the road from Liverpool High School, you can literally walk there for a slice of pizza. Is that I sit down there with the Liverpool Warriors boys basketball team and a bunch of the athletic programs, but it was after you had already moved on to college that we started doing it. So I know I'm putting you on the spot here on my show, but can we have a little Avicoli's man-to-man pizza night with Charles Pride and celebrate a little bit there?
Yes, for sure. Definitely. I'd love to.
Because to me, it's so awesome to know that, what you've done and in your career and how hard you've worked to get to where you are today. And when you reflect on that time with the Liverpool Warriors and Coach Blackwell and all of that, just what are your, man, I know winning a state championship is a fond memory, but what are the takeaways, like the things that you put in your backpack when you go to Bryant that you remember from Liverpool?
Um, I mean, that it's a lot of things, I transferred there from CBA and I met a bunch of people that will like be my friends for the rest of my life. I'll have a relationship with, and I don't know, as far as from basketball wise, I'll probably say hard work ethic. You know, Blackwell really preached on it. So did Muller. Blackwell, he had a lot of experience and he really got the guys to believe, like in a different type of way. He got the guys to believe that we could win immediately. He held great practices. They were competitive. I would definitely say bringing a competitive nature and having fun while playing basketball. And definitely, I would say bringing that to Bryant
You
and
know,
this team.
and we look back, on that time. Was there anything that you saw in your game when you were at Liverpool, even winning a state championship, where you thought to yourself, I could have done this differently. I could have done this better. I surprised myself here. Like, what were the moments on that state championship run where maybe you surprised yourself in a positive way? And were there any moments where you said, I definitely want to work on my game, even though we won, I want to make sure I work on this?
Well, see, it's kind of different because I'm younger. I was younger at the time and had uh, a different mindset, or I wasn't really as mature as a player as I am now. But, just getting there and winning it honestly was everything. It meant everything to me, and I was so excited. So at the time, I really wasn't. I mean, I knew there were certain things I had to work on, but that wasn't really my focus. I would say when we got to Federation and then we lost, that's when I definitely felt like, okay, I have to get into the gym kind of thing. Because I felt like we could have won that game, but things just weren't really going our way and it started to kind of get out of hand. But I was still so proud of the guys that we got there. But I definitely personally felt like I had to get into the gym.
And so we fast forward to Bryant. You made the decision to come to the Bryant Bulldogs. Why was that the right fit for you? What was the message? What was the thing that spoke to you to make you say, okay, you know what? I'm leaving familiar grounds and I'm going to head out to Bryant and give this a shot.
Well, I had already left like the area because I was going to Putnam. But as far as going to Bryant, I originally committed to Weber State. I went on an official visit there, committed on visit. I ended up decommitting, and I was picking up a bunch of different offers. And then I played in a tournament in Rhode Island, actually, and Coach Martelli came to the game. And then that's when Coach Martelli talked to me, and then I realized Coach Grosso had left Iona as an assistant, where he offered me that was my first offer from Coach Grosso at Iona when I was 15 years old. So then he got the head coaching job at Bryant, and I don't know, it was just loyalty. I was always hearing how great of a coach he was and stuff like that. And then he told me what it was, and then I agreed on it, and he kept his word the whole way.
And seeing what you got to do, like you said, kept his word the whole way with you. And to see in your third season with the Bryant Bulldogs, they've never made the NCAA tournament, never advanced to the Division I men's basketball tournament. You will be a part of the forever history of advancing to the NCAAs. Just what that has meant to you. And I know you're a young guy, but forever and always your great grandchildren are going to know, you know, Charles did this. He was a part of history. What has that done for you in your career and in your young life to know that you're a part of the first time that Bryant ever punched a ticket to the NCAA tournament?
That's another thing that surpassed the Liverpool state championship, but they're probably like neck and neck, honestly, just because, coming into Bryant, I knew Coach Grosso had taken over. And like I said, he told me like his plan. I was his first recruiting class, and they were taking over a team that had only won 3 Division I games the year before. So I knew it was going to be a challenge, and I don't know, just to honestly make it happen. Talk about it as like something that you want to do, and then to actually go and make it happen, that's surreal.
And, to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time ever, Bryant's had to win their first ever NEC tournament championship. And you did that going away in a big way. You were the number 1 seed in the NEC tournament. Wagner was a 2, defeated them by almost 30 points, 70-43. Another piece of history is to win the first ever NEC tournament championship for the Bryant Bulldogs, which punched your ticket and secured you going to the NCAA tournament. So that side of it as well, that in order to make history, you had to make history. in that special way.
Yeah, no, that is kind of dope, you know. Last year we made it to the championship, and then we lost in the championship to Mount. That was a tough game. You know, we got hit with COVID pretty late in the year around playoffs. So that was pretty unfortunate. But then to come back and work really hard, and it didn't look like we were going to get there in the beginning of the year, but everyone just persevered. You know, we had a whole bunch of obstacles in front of us in the beginning of the year. Like a bunch of our team was coming up with COVID at different times throughout the year. So different players we would have in different games and stuff like that. So we started off the year, it was pretty tough, but you know, I'm very proud of the guys. They definitely persevered through all obstacles. And, you know, we set our goals out in the beginning of the year, and just to accomplish them is amazing.
Speaking here with Charles Pride, a piece of the Bryant Bulldogs making history with their first ever NEC tournament championship and first ever ticket punch to the NCAA tournament in the history of Bryant University. Charles here with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. So look at your numbers in 32 games this season. You scored in double figures 25 times in those 32 games. Only 7 times it didn't happen. You had 12 games of 20 or more points, 14 double-digit scoring games in a row, and 7 of the last 9 were double digits. So when you put all that together, you had 21 of 23 games to end the season from where you were all the way to that game in the NCAA tournament, 21 of 23 games in double figures, and having 12 games of 20 or more. Almost half the time that you scored in double figures, you were scoring at least 20 points. Just what you can say about the offensive explosion that we have seen from you in your 3rd season at Bryant.
I would just say that that's just a testimony to my coaches and teammates. You know, they believe in me to score the ball. And I don't know, I worked very, very hard with our assistant, one assistant, particularly Coach Cole. I get a lot of work in with him, and he's definitely helped me elevate my game to a different level. But, you know, in the beginning of the year, the offense wasn't really going because we didn't have a chemistry. We had so many players out. But, you know, in college basketball, you want to play your best basketball at the end of the year. So, like I said, I'm just so proud of the guys. They helped me as a player and as a friend. You know, they taught me so many lessons. So I really appreciate that.
You know, and you had mentioned your head coach, Coach Jared Grosso, and just, you know, for you, what he's done. He's only been at Bryant since April of 2018. So you look at the 18-19 season, 19-20, and then 2021. We're looking at around COVID times, and then 21-22. So they've been more than half the time that he's been the head coach of Bryant University, you've been his player. So you can speak to it better than most. What can you say about Jared Grosso and what he's done for Bryant?
He's up there with I would say Coach Blackwell. You know, as one of my favorite coaches ever. You know, I believed in him when I had a bunch of other schools that were recruiting me, but he's a man of his word, a man of the truth, and he's an even better friend, you know, or like big brother role. You could go in there and have a conversation about basketball, and then as soon as you're done with that conversation, have a conversation with him about life and about anything that's going on, and he'll always be there for you. That's a great guy.
Similarities and differences between Ryan Blackwell and Jared Grosso.
um, they're they're literally opposites, you know. Coaching wise, you know, my coach is very energetic. He's pacing on the sideline, you know, where you know how Coach Blackwell is. He's laid back. He both great coaches, definitely. Similarities, I would say, their passion for the game. their passion for the game is like no other. They live basketball, sleep it, breathe it. They're different. Like I don't know anyone who has that type of passion, but I don't know. This is I think I lost you there.
Oh, you're good. I can hear you.
I don't know. This is a pretty hard question to answer, honestly.
That coming here from Charles Pride, hanging out on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Where you go, history follows. The history at Liverpool, the history at Bryant. I know that you're not a guy who talks about, ego and whatnot, and I respect that about you. I do want to ask you why you feel you've been successful where you've gone. And just what is it about your work ethic, who you are as a person, the responsibility you take, the leadership? What about what you're doing? Because it's not a mistake for you to go to Liverpool and be such a big part of what they've done, and then come here to Bryant and be such a big part of what they've done historically. So what would you attribute that to in your life personally, on why you think you've had success at both levels?
I would probably say just, growing up and stuff like that, I've had the right guys kind of in my corner, or that I've met and stuff like that. And I don't know, I was just a sponge and would take everything I could learn from this guy, and this guy, and kind of try to mix it all up. But honestly, just my work ethic every year has improved a lot. And I know I'm not where I want to be. I want to get a lot better. So I would say just like learning and the experience, also just learning what works best for me and stuff like that, and just staying in the gym every single day.
What challenges did you have in your life? What moments of adversity are you proud that you got past?
I would say, transferring in, I transferred in. I mean, I didn't transfer in, but coming from Putnam to Bryant, I came there in May early for summer workouts. I get up to summer workouts and I tore my meniscus the second week, I want to say, of summer workouts. So, just persevering through that. I know that was a very tough time for me. I was a freshman and I got hurt in the summer workout. So I don't know. It was very tough. I didn't know if I was going to be able to play that season, and I had to have surgery. I never had surgery before. So, just persevering through that and working back to be the player that I can be.
Surgery is not fun. Nobody likes to have it. When you went through it, like you said, you had never gone through it before. What kept your spirits up to get you back on the court?
I would say God and God, my family, and just the love for the game. Honestly, I prayed a lot because I was very scared. I didn't know. I heard like about a lot of guys get hurt playing basketball, and like they don't ever come back the same. And I was very nervous about that. I just had a lot of things flowing through my mind, So I had like I said, I had the right guys who just helped me through it, talked me through it, kind of kept me sane, and then praying.
What did you ask God for? What were the prayers? Because I appreciate your faith. What were you talking to God about through this process?
Just to keep me strong, mentally and physically, because I was honestly thinking like anything I didn't know, I was freaking out.
And we look back on it, like you said, looking up players and guys don't come back the same and whatnot. You've only gotten better. Your minutes have gone up from 24.8 to 31.6 to 35.3 In your third season at Bryant, you're playing almost the entire 40 minutes of the game on average. Your field goal percentage has been above 42% every single season, almost 50% in your second season, 45.1% this season. And then we take a look at your points from 8.2 to 13.7 to almost 20 at 17.7. And your rebounds have gone up as well from 5 to 7 to just shy of 9, almost averaging a double-double. So, I think we could say that prayers were answered, that not only did you come back, but you didn't come back as a player who couldn't fully feel like yourself. Why have you gotten better? What are you doing in the gym? What are you doing in film study? Because it's no mistake that statistically you've become a better player. This team as a whole has become better. So what are you doing personally that you can attribute to the fact that we have only seen you grow and expand your game at Bryant?
I would just say, like, honestly, listening to the right guys. All the right guys I've been around have told me, like, live in the gym, get a couple hundred makes up, work on this part of your game, watch film, just like living basketball, kind of cutting out distractions, learning what works best for me, taking care of my body. I wasn't really taking care of my body the way I should have when I was in high school and prep. And when I first got to college, like, we got to do all that little stuff, honestly. But
what are some of the key pieces when you talk about taking care of your body, making good decisions and whatnot? What are some of the pieces of advice you would give to somebody, either what you're eating or what you're doing or how you're sleeping? What do you think daily were changes that you made that work so well?
daily changes that I made, I started eating. I pretty much was on like a chicken diet. I was only eating like chicken and rice and chicken with salad and stuff like that. I would have steak every here or there. I wasn't drinking soda anymore. And I would say every single year I would just get in the gym more. So everything is just hard work, honestly. If you just work really hard at it, I feel like you'll accomplish it. And you obviously can't take no for an answer. So honestly, like, I work on everything. Literally, I condition. I try to run up to 2 miles during the off season. I was doing a little boxing. I was just doing a whole bunch of random stuff that I feel like could help my game, getting in the gym, getting like 400 makes up a day, doing reps over and over and over and over, praying. And a big piece of it is taking care of your body, icing, a lot of icing, stretching.
Yeah, and I think, and I appreciate that, because I think a lot of people that are watching and listening, they want to know what are some of the things that you do. And it's not rocket science. I myself, and I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but during COVID, I said to myself, healthy body, healthy mind. I hear it all the time. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy mind, healthy body. And how do you get it? And it's like, you just got to put the work in. Well, how do you do it? Well, you go outside, and I just walked every day, and it was like 10 days, and then it was 20, and then it was 40, and then it was 80. And then I had a goal. I want 1,000,000 steps by this point. And I had over that. And then I got 100 days and 200 days and 250 days in a row. And and I started to think clearer. I started to be more at peace, less stressed, less anxious. It's not rocket science. If you want to help yourself, you got to put the work in. And I think, with you, like you said, having the right people around you, the right coaching staff, and just taking that responsibility, and then learning, like you said, in high school and prep, that you weren't as responsible as you are now. What keeps you so focused now, Charles? Like, why do you think you're in a place right now where you can stay so focused consistently?
Um, I would honestly say,
I think you froze here for a second. We can hear you, but we it looks like it's a picture of you right now. So we're seeing here if we can fix
yeah,
this.
fix
Fix this with Charles.
was saying that my
See if we can do this. So here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life inside the Cafe Kubal studio, speaking with Liverpool Warriors alum as well as New York State champion, current Bryant Bulldog, Charles Pride. So yeah, what we were saying, Charles, to go ahead and answer that. Just what's brought that consistency for you? Because you talk about the ingredients of eating right, being smarter, having the right coaching staff, doing things with your body and whatnot. Why do you stay so consistent? Because I think it's easy for anybody to try it once or try it for a week or try it for a couple of weeks. They say it takes 21 days to create a habit or 21 days to destroy one. What keeps you so consistent? Why are you so hungry?
I was just saying my love for the game. Like, I don't know, I just really love the game of basketball. That's what I want to do. And my coach tells me I could make some money while playing the game that I love. So I don't know. And I'm a very competitive guy. I want to be the best at anything I do. Like I would want to win in anything. I would want to win in the games at Chuck E. Cheese, you know? So I would just say being a competitive guy and just wanting to be the best at anything. So I would honestly do anything to improve at what I'm trying to do.
Do you think that there's a world that after college you believe you could be playing somewhere overseas, doing something to that respect? Do you really feel that that's tangible?
Yeah, I do. If I continue to keep working and stuff like that, like I'm nowhere close to where I want to be. So I'm just gonna keep putting the work in and hopefully it'll pay off.
Before I let you go, speaking here with Charles Pride, once again, of the Bryant Bulldogs, taking a look at this season and how you guys challenge yourselves on the schedule. Coach obviously had games at Clemson, games at Houston, at Cincinnati. Just what you could say about what some of those games non-conference did for you, despite the fact that you didn't win those games. How did it help you prepare for the NEC, and how did it help you guys to kind of really assess who you were?
So like playing in those games, and that was during a rough stretch for us. That was when a bunch of our guys were getting sick with COVID, had the flu, strep. So like we were missing guys throughout a bunch of those games and stuff like that. But I feel like that made our team stronger and just showed us early on in the year a variety of different talent at all different positions. So, we played all these different teams with different builds, and now we go into our conference and we know like our conference, there's no one in our conference that's Houston level, And so we see these teams and, it makes it a lot easier for us because we've played against these teams and stuff like that. I feel like our guys they definitely gained more experience and stuff like that. Like we got a whole bunch of young guys, stuff like that, that'll be back next year, but playing against these big teams and these very tough environments, they prepped our team for, the conference playoffs and stuff like that.
So you advance to the first ever NCAA tournament in Bryant University history, and you have to play a play-in game. Bring me into the feeling of being there in Dayton, Ohio, where the first four is perennially. You played up against Wright State, also winners of their conference tournament as well. I really thought Dayton was fun. It was packed. I got to go there a few years ago in Syracuse, and St. Bonnie's was there. So just what the atmosphere was like. And did you feel like you were in the NCAA tournament?
So, I mean, it was surreal, Selection Sunday. I've been watching that ever since I was little. Um, it was just surreal, like I said, winning the championship and being able to go to March Madness and stuff like that. That's stuff I always watched. Like, I remember when Malachi Richardson was going crazy in the tournament. Like, that's one of my favorite moments ever, honestly. Like, just growing up and being a Cuse fan and stuff like that. So to get there and know, like, I'm playing in it, that was surreal. But, I mean, yeah, we played against Wright State. We knew they were a good team coming in. They won their conference and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie, that was a tough game. That game honestly felt kind of like a home away game, a home game for them.
Yeah.
Wright State's right up the road, so we had like open practice and open shoot around and stuff like that. And Wright State would have it right after us, and our shoot around and practice time that we had would have some Wright State fans in there and stuff like that. And just, I don't know, it honestly felt like playing out there on the floor. It felt like it was an away game.
So, I mean, what did you take away from that? Did you feel the disadvantage at all in that game, or did you eventually shut it out once you guys tipped off in the actual game?
I mean, you shut it off during the game and stuff like that. I mean, I like playing in away games and stuff like that, but you shut it off and stuff like that. But I remember there was one time we were losing, and for some reason the power went out, and like the whole gym was just rocking. Let's go Raiders, whole gym. So I mean, I don't know, but it was definitely dope going there. And I'm definitely gonna try my best to get back there, man. That such a dope experience, such a dream.
So you get there, you get to say that you're in the NCAA tournament. I'm going to throw something at you because this is what I believe. Now, when you look at the world of NCAA Division I men's basketball, there's 68 spots, right? And
Yeah.
there's 4 playing games, you being a part of one of them with Bryant. So here's the thing: there's 32 conferences, which means there's 32 automatic bids. There's 36 at-large teams. When they say that you're an automatic bid, and most teams, when they win their conference tournament, get seeded and they're set, I am not a proponent for the fact that any team that wins their conference tournament, with the overwhelming majority of them are in the round of 64, that you or Wright State or Texas A&M Corpus Christi or Texas Southern and any of those teams should have to play in, because I believe if you're an at-large team and essentially one of the last 4 in and whatnot, I think if you're an at-large team, one of the 36, you should have to play the playing game. I don't care if it's a 10 seed, 11 seed, 5 seed, whatever, however you want to seed it. But I don't believe that a team that wins their conference tournament that gets an automatic bid should have to play into the round of 64, because the majority of the automatic bids don't have to. Agree or disagree that Bryant's, as well as any team that wins their conference tournament, shouldn't automatically be in the round of 64, and that an at-large team should be playing to get in, which is by definition what they should be doing, as opposed to you winning a conference tournament and then, let's say, Tennessee winning a conference tournament, they're in no matter what. Why can't you be in as a true 16 or a true 14 or a true 11 or whatever it may be? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree with you, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, but I don't know. As far as being in that game as a player, I just know that we have to do whatever we can not to be in the 16 seed, so that we wouldn't have to get the game. We just have to work and get there, But being a team that has to play in the playing game, that means you won your conference, you won the conference playoffs and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that you had the best year you guys could have had. Like, I feel like there were a bunch of games on the schedule that like slipped away from us that we could have won or didn't play well down the stretch, that if we did win, we wouldn't have been a 16 seed or had to have the playing game.
So I appreciate that. Put the onus on yourself. I still believe that you guys should have had a true, if it's an automatic bid, it should be an automatic bid. Before I let you go, Charles, the transfer portal is alive and it's busy. What's keeping you at Bryant instead of being like so many players just running all over the country?
I mean, I just really like the guys here and stuff like that. My coach, I have a really good relationship with him. You know, he's been true to me ever since I committed, and every goal we set out to achieve, we've achieved, you know. So we're just going to raise our goals higher now and just continue to go. But I don't know, this is a very good atmosphere and family oriented team, you know. So I don't know. I like it.
So can we dispel any rumor that you're going anywhere?
Yeah, for sure.
That coming from Charles Pride here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So Charles, as you step forward, like you said, you guys have achieved all these goals you set out for yourself. You have one more run at this. What makes you believe that this team next season for 2022-23 can not only make it back to the NCAA tournament and go from never being there to being there 2 years in a row? What makes you believe that you can continue to make history and get out of that play-in game and be in the round of 64?
I would say because, like I said, we have a bunch of good guys here, a bunch of guys that are really locked in, and we have a great culture over here. So we have a bunch of guys that are going to get in the gym. You know, we had younger guys that got a taste and seen what it was and how hard we had to work to get to the spot that we were at. So I know that they'll definitely be working to get back. You know, it kind of left a sour taste in our mouth, even though we did accomplish some things, but it just to end on the note that we did, you know. So now the next goal, we're gonna set those same goals for next year to win it. But now, like, we want to win in the tournament. So, you know, I feel like it's just a never ending motivation kind of thing. Because you just want to get to the next level.
Well, you got to give me another season of fantastic play as you're known to do, because I circled Bryant in this year's bracket and I want to do it again next year. So I need to get my guy, Charles Pride, back there. As always, Charles, there's so much stuff that we could talk about, so many things we could do. Do you have a favorite moment of the tournament, a favorite piece that you'll take with you forever, even though you didn't win that game against Wright State? When you were on that floor, did you just bring me into, I want to see it through your eyes. Did you spend an extra moment on the floor? Did you look up and think something? Did you talk to God in the moment? Did you take something from the hotel room or the locker room? Like, I want to know what you did to remember the moment.
Well, I mean, I have a ton of pictures and videos to, like, you know, they gave us some March Madness gear and stuff like that just coming into the hotel. You know, they had the red carpet out, and that was pretty dope. They had like a long line of, I guess, employees or whatever at the hotel that welcomed us pretty nice. But I would say one of the dope moments would be, you know, so they call us out for the starting five, and then I went on the floor, and then I just looked up because, like, there was a little section where our fans were family and friends and stuff like that, and just like seeing my family and stuff like that, and they knew, like, that was my dream. I've always talked about it in front of them. They knew, like, that's what I wanted to do, and just like seeing them and like me being on the court, ready to play. You know, they're about to throw the ball up so we can tip it, and I don't know, that was just dope. They were into me and stuff. That was definitely dope.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that you had the opportunity to do this and to be a part of this. And I'm so grateful that, you've gotten to live in this world and be a part of this world, and just get to have some fun with it. So, to me, you always have those memories, but I hope that there's going to be more to come. And I look forward to obviously getting to spend some real time with you, hopefully in the same place sometime soon. So I'm all about the Bulldogs because of you, and I'll continue to support that and have a lot of pride. Fun, pun fully intended. Have a lot of pride in my guy. So, Charles, thank you for everything. Thank you for representing our hometown well. Thank you for what you did at Liverpool. Thank you for what you're doing at Bryant, and just being a good kid who's working your tail off to make sure that you make something of your life. You're not just an example for yourself. You're an example for people that you're never going to meet, and how you treat this opportunity and any opportunity that comes from here, somebody's going to see that. So I appreciate the fact that you're working to be a positive beacon of hope for kids out there that are trying to make their dreams come true.
Thank you. I appreciate that.